Morning. Thank y'all for joining us here this morning. I want to give a special thank you to Representative Kavanaugh and President Bart Hester. Unfortunately, Bart couldn't be here with us today, but the two of them are leading this legislation that we're announcing, and very grateful for their partnership and hard work to get this done and through the legislature. I'll start by giving a brief update on our recovery efforts from this weekend's tornadoes. I was in Cave City and Paragould this Saturday to support impacted Arkansans and see how the state could help those who were impacted. Tragically, we lost 3 Arkansans this weekend, with several dozen others who were injured. Our prayers are with the families of those who were impacted by this storm, and the state will continue to work closely with them over the course of the next several weeks. I've declared a state of emergency and released $250,000 from our disaster relief fund and deployed state police and National Guardsmen to help those areas. I've also spoken with President Trump and DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, and will continue to work with our federal partners to help in those relief efforts. This is not going to be a quick recovery. It will take time, but our message is one that I learned from my dad. We will take care of the people first and the paperwork second. And so if you are in need, please get word to us through your local officials. You can also go to helparkansas.com to ask for assistance, or also to offer assistance, and we will get you help as quickly as possible. Our number one goal will be to take care of those who have been so tragically impacted over the last several days. Now moving to a very different topic, but also focused on taking care of and protecting our citizens. Today we are announcing the Defense Against Criminal Illegals Act. This is our state's plan to hold violent criminal illegal immigrants accountable for their crimes. President Trump is cleaning up Joe Biden's disaster at the southern border, and Arkansas will have his back. Over the past 4 years, we saw the most catastrophic border crisis in American history. Day after day, month after month, millions of unvetted illegal immigrants entered the United States from practically every country on earth. There were more than 10 million illegal border crossings, more than 3 times every man, woman, and child here in the state of Arkansas. Thousands of those illegal immigrants were known criminals, and hundreds were from the terrorist watch list. I saw the border crisis firsthand when I visited with Arkansas National Guardsmen stationed at the Del Rio sector in 2023. They were there as one of the 2 missions we sent to the southern border during my first 2 years in office. On paper, the statistics are staggering. In person, the situation is even worse. Our guardsmen, our heroes, were put in 100-degree heat every day working to keep our border secure. I heard from Border Patrol agents managing facilities designed to hold 1,000 illegals that were packed with twice that number. I listened to law enforcement talk about pulling bodies from the Rio Grande who were victims of violent cartels. I personally watched hundreds of illegal border crossers enter our country as we stood there. Luckily, America now has a president who takes border security seriously and has personally overseen an essential shutdown of the southern border. Illegal crossings at the Del Rio sector that I visited are now down 99%, and illegal border crossings are at the lowest level ever recorded. Unfortunately, there are still millions of illegal immigrants in our country. We've seen what happens when Arkansans fall victim to violent criminal illegals. Just in January, state troopers arrested an illegal who was on the run after striking a law enforcement officer. We arrested a gang member from El Salvador last November. And most tragic of all, this past September, Little Rock nurse Jennifer Ann Morton was on her way to work when she was killed by an illegal immigrant who was deported during the first Trump term and later came back and was driving drunk. These crimes didn't have to happen. Violent criminal illegals have no place in Arkansas. And under this administration, we will make sure that they are held accountable. The Defense Against Criminal Illegals Act will slap enhanced penalties on illegal immigrants who commit additional crimes while in our state. We'll expand our sanctuary city ban so that no place in Arkansas including unincorporated areas and counties, can be a safe harbor for illegals. And we will mandate that Arkansas law enforcement participate in the federal 287 program so that we cooperate better with ICE and expedite deportations. After only a few months in office, President Trump has brought law and order back to our country, and Arkansas will continue to partner with them and help lead the way. I want to again thank the legislators who worked so hard to draft this legislation, and I want to especially thank our law enforcement for their support. You're on the front lines of defending our state, and we appreciate all that you do to keep us safe on a daily basis. I'll now turn it over to Representative Kavanaugh and then come back up and take a few questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. Appreciate your leadership in this. When this bill was first brought to me, I had a lot of people ask me, why is this important? Well, it's important for the reasons the governor just laid out for us. We have been under attack. We are changing, but we need to keep in mind that we have to keep our Kansans safe, and that's what this is really designed to do, is to keep our Kansans safe. It will also give law enforcement the tools that they need to be able to compete, to actually assist and help with ICE. And it will also help us be able to understand that the failed sanctuary policies that we've seen throughout the country won't be here in Arkansas. And with that, Governor, I really appreciate your leadership. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take a couple questions if there are any.
Has the bill been filed?
I'll let you answer that.
Yes, Senator Hester, who couldn't be here today, has filed it. I think it's SB 428, I think. My understanding is as soon as he gets here, he'll go through the normal process and he'll get it ran. Thank you.
Do you have an estimate on the number of people who are in Arkansas illegally?
We know that there are thousands of illegals that are here in our state illegally, but one is too many. When they are a violent criminal, we want to make sure that those individuals are not operating in our community, and it's one of the reasons this legislation is important. We've seen multiple instances, several of which I named in the opening comments, where those individuals hurt and impacted Arkansans, and that's what we're trying to prevent and make sure don't take place. I can get back to you on that on a specific number.
Cyber-Miss, are you planning on signing the nitrogen gas execution bill?
Yeah, I will sign that as it hits my desk, I think at some point here today or tomorrow. Great. Thank you all so much for being here.